Hey y'all, hi. Okay, today I am talking about my personal style challenges for this season. I'm thinking of it kind of as my personal style challenges for 2026, but I'm aware that these challenges will probably evolve, and I hope to check back in later in the year about what my personal challenges for myself have become. So for the time being, we're gonna say it's like my winter to spring 2026 style challenges for myself. This video is also like a classic get ready with me. I am giving a poetry reading this evening. I put on this makeup look for the reading, and after this I'm going to get dressed, and I'll also share at the end of the video what I ended up putting on with this makeup to wear to the poetry reading after issuing myself all of these challenges. So spend some time with me, watch me put on makeup, and I also reviewed some makeup products, the new Merit Lip Blur, a Fenty lip liner, the new Kosas highlight, while talking about fashion and style philosophy. So this video really has it all. Subscribe if you like it. If you are interested in poetry, you can click through to my published book, which I will link at the top of the description box down below. And now let's get into the meat of the video. All right, first step, I need to, well, my skin is, I've been putting on the skincare today, but I'm going to use this. This is the Make Beauty Hydrascape Moisturizing Reverse Emulsion. It's a very intense, kind of thick priming serum that gives that really glossy effect that's so intense that it shows through makeup. I've been using this for a couple of days. I've had this for years. I'm familiar with this product, but I've been using it once again regularly lately. And I've been remembering how it illuminates through makeup, which I just think is really lovely. And now I'm going to do my base just as I've been doing it, which is a mix of the Lisa Eldridge Skin Tint and the Victoria Beckham concealer pen. And I'm going to talk while I do it about my personal style goals and challenges now. So I don't know, I'm kind of thinking about it as for this season, end of winter, beginning of spring. I made a little list. So first on my list of my personal style challenges is actually getting dressed more regularly. I talk about this all the time, and so I'm going to try not to talk about it too much today because I feel like it's a recurring topic in my more highly produced fashion content and in my more casual fashion content because it's a mainstay in my life. Wow, I'm almost out of this. And I know that it's relatable to a lot of you because a lot of people work from home right now, but it's not relevant to everyone. And so I don't want to be a broken record about it. So I'll kind of gloss over it. It's enduringly relevant to me because I work from home, work for myself. Often the whole workday will go by and I won't really go anywhere, see anyone. You know, I'm like working just from home. No need. Here's the thing. It's not just that there's no need to dress up. Like I'm not entering an environment in which I need to be dressed to a certain standard. It's not just that. It's that there's no real need to dress at all. Like if I stayed in activewear all day or if I stayed in my pajamas all day, it wouldn't negatively impact anyone except for me. It wouldn't impact me socially in the way that what one wears out into the world impacts one socially. So a lot of people have like a social pressure to wear something other than their pajamas or their activewear all day. And I, because of the nature of my work, I simply don't usually have that social pressure. I don't have it every single work day. I don't have it regularly. So the choice to get dressed at all is what we're talking about, right? When I do get dressed, when I actually take a moment to get dressed in an outfit, I don't typically struggle in that moment to kind of be excited about it because I love my clothes and I have beautiful clothes. So it's like once the moment comes, I'm putting them on, I'm feeling good. But some days I give in to the desire to just stay kind of comfortable, to sort of fashion rot, which is in my case, just not really dressing. Maybe changing from my pajamas into sweats or activewear or something, but just not really crossing that line into having gotten dressed. For me, the foundational challenge that underpins all of the rest of the challenges continues to be that. It's just to get dressed on almost every single day and not to give in to that sort of self-sabotaging desire to rot. Again, to some of you, I will be speaking deeply to your souls. To others of you, you don't have the option of rotting, and so you're like, let's move on to number 2. But that one is and continues to be important to me. Okay, my second personal style challenge. Okay, this one's great. what I wrote is that I want to kind of push the boundary of my definition of what is frivolous or what is too much to wear. So picture it, right? I've decided to get dressed on a given day. I'm doing it because, even though it doesn't make a difference to me socially, it does make a difference to me. It changes the way that I feel in my skin. It changes the nature of the work that I do. It changes my effectiveness, right? To actually get dressed, it actually does make a huge impact. It's a kind of self-care that really goes the distance. So that's why I am going to, it's not just that I love clothes and love fashion, right? It really does make a difference in how well I function. I'm getting dressed on a given day. And here's what I often do. I often skip over garments that I feel are just a bit too much for that day on which I'm just getting dressed for essentially for myself, for the purpose of self-care. It's like because my reason for getting dressed is so contained within my own bubble and relevant sort of mostly to me and to how well I'm functioning and how I feel about it, I feel like the bar is lower for myself because it's just me. And there are things that I'm like, oh, why would I wear that when it's just me at home, even though I'm getting dressed? So these two are kind of related, right? And I think this second one is going to be relevant to many more of you. But for me, they're really related because it's like the first challenge is actually getting dressed. And then once I'm actually getting dressed, I want to challenge myself to step even further and not to just get dressed, but to actually indulge in some more frivolous, more dramatic, more exciting elements of style that are already in my wardrobe and that I'm just opting out of because I'm saving them for when it matters, like saving them for when it makes sense, saving them for when I go out into the world, even though they're just as comfortable, just as practical, do the job of clothing me just as well as my other clothes. It's just that they have more style. And so I'm like, well, why would I put that on? So it's sort of like the more nuanced version of problem number one, kind of. So an example is my blazer, my amazing tweed blazer that functions just as well as an oversized wool sweater. I'm constantly putting on an oversized wool sweater when I get dressed because it keeps me warm and comfortable and it's fashion. This big tweed wool blazer functions in exactly the same way. And in fact, it's kind of better because you can more easily take it on and off. And then whatever I wear underneath it is also showing. I can layer it more easily over button-down shirts, which I love to wear, whereas like the wool sweater doesn't go as well over a button-down shirt. For me, I don't feel as comfortable in that. So tweed blazer is really an ideal thing for me to be putting on inside of the house a lot of the time. And I resist doing that because I'm like, well, it's just too much. It just feels excessive or it just feels too fancy. I wrote also in the note for this one, for number 2, that I think maybe my personal definition of effortless is a little bit too intense. So every time I go to get dressed, I want to sort of look and feel effortless. And I feel like the blazer is just a little too effortful. Like it looks and feels a little bit too effortful, but that's not actually true. So I'm trying to move the needle for myself on what is effortless and what is effortful and what kind of telegraphs trying hard or putting together a conceived of outfit, what telegraphs that to the point of discomfort. I think I've just been too conservative with myself with most days. When I get dressed most days, I want to go ahead and wear the blazer, go ahead and wear the neck scarf, go ahead and wear the colorful socks. Just don't think twice about it and don't hold myself back from doing it because it feels a little too fashion for the day that I'm about to have. It's advice that I'm giving all the time. I give this advice all the time on YouTube, and I really want to follow my own advice on this point right now. So that's complexion. I'm going to use the Refi Brow Pomade to shape my brows a little bit. I'm not going to fill them in. I feel like with my hair, it doesn't look this carroty in person. Something about the intensity of these lights, these bright beauty lights, is really bringing out the red. I mean, I look like Ariel in The Little Mermaid over here. In real life, in sunlight, it's not like that. It looks a lot more natural. But still, I feel like the thick, ashy depths of my brows, it's enough without adding any pencil in there because I did dye the brows as well, like within the week. My hair, I talked about this in another video, but in case you missed that, I used the Lush henna brick on it. I used the lightest shade. It's the strawberry blonde. It's the color Venetian. And based on the imagery on the website, I really thought that it was going to be quite subtle and actually barely show up. It turns out that it just is really strong. It took to my hair really well and it showed up really strongly. And it's a great product. I like it a lot. I just wasn't expecting it to be so bright. Luckily, it's really similar to what the natural color of my hair was when I was younger. So I feel like it doesn't look unnatural with my coloring. It does look integrated with my coloring, but it is sort of a shock to those of us who know what my hair has been looking like lately. third on the list, this is the weirdest one, skirts and dresses. And I wrote in the note, WTF is going on with me with skirts and dresses? Because right now, I feel like I would as soon wear a skirt as I would wear a wetsuit. I just feel like I would as soon wear a skirt as I would wear a clown costume on a day. Skirts suddenly feel like so much fabric, and underneath your legs are just free. Like I suddenly have this like bizarre sensory and like emotional confusion about skirts and dresses, which is something I think they integrate stunningly into outfits. I have a number of them that I think are lovely that I've worn a lot in the past. I've never struggled to wear skirts and dresses before. I think the last time I had a healthy relationship with skirts and dresses was when I was pregnant 2 years ago. And then since giving birth, being a parent, and also probably it has something to do with like the dramatic fluctuations of the body and the weird experience of kind of getting to know my body again, but it's also never going to be the same like that. Somehow skirts and dresses have just never re-entered the picture in this new phase of selfhood and fashion. And it's taken me a long time to realize that this has happened. And I finally am calling it what it is, and I'm naming it now, and I'm saying that my first approach is going to be to challenge myself to wear my skirts and dresses, and then we'll see how I feel. I don't have to wear skirts and dresses. Makeup. I'm going to continue to put on makeup. You know what I want to do? I have some makeup I'm testing. I want to see if I want to wear it. So this is the new Kosas highlight. It is haloed shiny objects powder highlight. That is old school. I have Merit Lip Blur. This is a new release, I think, in Bespoke and Kitten Heel. If I'm going to wear one of these, it's going to be Bespoke, I think. This is what it looks like. Very pretty. Oh, that's so pretty. So this is Kitten Heel, which is like a pinkish red. It's really pretty, but I'm not going to be wearing this to the poetry reading tonight. I could maybe see myself wearing Bespoke, but here, I'm going to put it on. You know what else I have? A Fenty Beauty lip liner. So I'm doing that thing where I'm putting on my lip now so that I don't I don't put on an amount of makeup on the rest of my face that will mean that a lip is too much. I'm starting with a lip so that everything will be in balance. So this is a Fenty lip liner in Traced Out. Looks a little intense. I am going to try to wear all three of these products. So I'm kind of liking, I've been wearing a lot of eye makeup lately for me. I've been often putting on some eyeliner and smudging it out. I'm kind of liking the bare eye right now. I think I want to have a rich but neutral lip color and leave this kind of a glowy skin and just do a really light mascara look. I think that's what I want to do today. So I'm going to put on a little bit of this lip liner. It's super creamy. Okay, interesting. So using that to kind of line the vermilion border, which is that part of your lip that is not your face, but isn't really your lip either. I was basically using it to color in the vermilion border and make it visually part of my lip with color. So I was doing that and then using my finger to blur it. As the vermilion border is kind of blurry. And it's so creamy that I thought that it was going to kind of wipe away, but instead it started setting down and I was able to blur it out and then it kind of set, which is nice. It feels like it's going to stay. It feels like it's going to stay. I'm impressed. I bet I'll continue to use this. The color is pretty. And if you're going for a sharper lip line, I'm sure it would work just as well and set down. It's more heavy duty makeup than I'm used to these days. Yeah, that time I waited too long to smudge it and then it didn't want to smudge. It was really starting to set down. Impressive. And the brown at full pigment, it's a pretty dark color, but it blurred out. It's pretty natural to the brownish tinge of my lips. So I like that a lot. So let's see how the lip blur looks. It's pretty. It's a lot more velvety. It's a little pinker and it feels less sturdy, of course, than the lip liner, which was basically setting down like a liquid lipstick in pencil form. The color together is lovely, really pretty. I think though I would rather just put on a thin layer of Traced Out and have that be my lip color. I just scribbled it onto my finger. Yeah, there it is more on the bottom. And obviously it's mixing with the other product, but I would rather just rub this into the skin of my lips, sort of stain my lips with it and have my lips look a little bit flushed, not like there's some sort of layer on them. Ultimately, two really pretty products. Two really pretty shades of brown. I think I prefer this one because I can manipulate it to do what I want and it's going to be really sturdy. Whereas this is definitely you apply it and then you reapply it and then you reapply it. But it is a pretty formula. So skirts and dresses. My initial reaction to this revelation that I've been resisting wearing skirts and dresses is that I'm going to issue myself the challenge to try to put together more outfits with skirts and dresses more regularly and consciously and then see how I feel and we'll check back in later. Okay, so I will come back and discuss what I think is going on once I gather some more data. It might be that I'm just going to be more of a pants wearer going forward, and then it's always going to be like this. And I'm curious to find if it's something about silhouette, if it's something about what I pair with them, maybe it's something about footwear, like the footwear that I'm into right now works better with pants. I don't really know what all of the forces are that are converging to make me skip over the skirts and dresses in my wardrobe. So I'm going to try to wear my skirts and dresses more and try to find out. Okay, number 4 on the list is totally predictable. It's just the scarves. I just have been pinning and talking about so many images of people wearing silk scarves in a modern and fashionable way. So I just need to find my scarves and start wearing them more. And everybody already knows this, okay? But I'm putting it on the list because I couldn't not. And underneath that on the list, I wrote sexy. My patrons know this because I talked about it on the Patreon podcast during our work hiatus. When Joe and I were making a list of the things that we were going to try to accomplish during our work hiatus, I put on my personal list that I was going to try to dress sexy during the hiatus because I'm trying to wear sexier outfits. And I did it on the first day. I don't even remember what I wore. But I remember waking up on the first day of the hiatus and being like, oh, I'm dressing sexy on hiatus. So I made some choice, like I wore a tight top or something. It wasn't that sexy, which it probably won't be going forward. It's not like I'm suddenly going to start wearing clubbing outfits like at home. Whatever sexy ends up meaning to me on any given day when I decide to rise to this challenge, I want to honor that and just try. I just want to incorporate it into my way of thinking about what I am doing and how I am inhabiting my body when I get dressed. Why? Why did I put this on the list kind of impulsively and I haven't really asked myself why, and I don't have a plan for what to say about it to you. I think it's that I love the kind of fashion that I've been leaning into. I've been wearing a lot of oversized button-down shirts, oversized slouchy trousers, oversized sweaters, and I love it. And I'm not saying that I want to move away from that at all. I think that one of the results of having had the pendulum swing so far in that direction is that it happens less frequently that I get dressed and I feel like it's a certain kind of sexy, because I think that kind of outfit can be sexy in its own way. I wouldn't say it's not sexy and that I don't feel sexy in it. There's this other kind of body conscious spry quality that I just haven't really been tapping into very often with my clothes. And I'm interested in introducing some balance. This is another one that I might have to try it and see what it means to me in practice and then report back to you about what I was even trying to get at. But regardless, it's on the list. I'm going to try to dress sexier this year. Okay. There's only one more thing on the list. So let's finish the makeup. I'm not unhappy with this. I actually really like bare glowy skin, a lip color, and nothing on the eyes. But I think what I'm going to do is put on a little bit of mascara. I bought this Redhead Revolution Ginger Lash Mascara in the shade Genuine Ginger before I even knew I was going to henna my hair. It's a little bit redder. I really like that taupe mascara from 1999. This is redder than that. It makes a lot of sense with my hair now. The thing I appreciate about it is just that it's not as dark as most brown mascaras, just in terms of value. Because most brown mascaras just look black if you have blonde lashes or if you're very pale. So I'm always looking for a mascara that does not just simply look black. And this is one, and the taupe mascara from 1999 is the only other that I know of. The question was going to be, did this ruin the effect I had before of that sort of bare skin and eyes? And I don't think it did. I think the lip is still able to sort of be showcased. I don't think I'm going to put anything on my cheeks. Maybe I'll do a little bit of that Kosas highlight just with my fingers and rub it in to make sure they really stay glossy, but I don't want it to be visible as makeup, and I don't want to sculpt and add color to my cheeks, because is what would cause the look to lose the sort of washed out ethereal skin with a rosy brown lip singular project, right, that it is currently achieving. So that's going to be it for the makeup. The last thing on the list is that I want to start adding in prints a little bit more carefully, just being more willing to wear prints and to mix prints a little bit. So not going all the way back to the maximalism of yesteryear for me, which was loud, splashy, colorful florals. But I think I have some animal prints that I would like to wear more. I have some graphic prints and plaids that I would like to wear more. I would like to mix those things together more. I think I'm just going to encourage myself to reach for the slightly spicier and slightly more statement garments instead of defaulting always to something just plain, which is what I've been doing and loving doing. And again, I don't think there's anything wrong with what I've been doing, but this is a list of challenges for myself to kind of try to mix it up and give myself a broader experience of my own style. Because after all, the prints, these things that I'm going to try to wear more, they are already in my closet. It's not as though I'm going out and buying stuff like this. I'm just trying to wear my more exciting and printed garments more and mix them together more. It's quite the list. I'm ready for the event tonight. And now it's like, what am I going to wear, right? What am I going to wear to this thing? I am going to actually get dressed. I already feel resistant to the challenge of pushing the boundary of what's too much because I don't want to appear, even though there are probably going to be like 3 people at this poetry reading, but I don't want to appear, quote unquote, in public as a poet wearing a tweed blazer. I do feel like that is a little bit of a bridge too far. So I'm already kind of failing at number 2 today, thinking about what I might even wear. I could wear a skirt or a dress. I could do that. Will consider. I still don't know where my scarves are. If I can find one before tonight, I could wear one. I could try to dress sexy. I could try to wear something printed. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to maybe do 2. I will now let you know in some way with a picture or a short video clip or something what I ended up wearing to the event. Hey y'all, hi. Okay, so this is what I ended up wearing. Hilariously, I feel like I have failed at everything, literally everything on the list, because I left on what I had on before. So I didn't have a moment where I decided on an outfit and changed. I'm wearing the same cardigan I was wearing when I was working today, when I was filming. I also am wearing sweatpants. They are pretty dramatic. They're these like really oversized drop crotch sweatpants, but they still are sweatpants. I found a scarf. It's not what I was talking about. I'm wearing this dramatic scarf and this really lovely Parisa Wang bag and these really lovely hiking style leather boots. So, I'm getting the chance to wear many of my beautiful pieces, which is great. But the place is very casual. It's very cold. I don't want to be cold. I didn't want to be uncomfortable. So I kept on my really warm wool cardigan and my sweatpants. And then I sort of accessorized in a way that made me feel like there's enough going on that I am myself. But I don't feel like it's particularly sexy. I'm not wearing a skirt. I didn't find a silk scarf. I didn't change out of my sweatpants. And I don't really feel like I'm pushing the envelope with like things that I think are too much. Like I feel like some of these pieces are dramatic, right? Like the scarf and shoes and bag are dramatic in their own way, but they're dramatic like within the confines of what's comfortable to me and what I often wear and what I'm familiar with. So I guess the point of this is just I'm sort of failing at the brief for today, but that's okay because the challenges are for the entire year or for the entire season. You know what I mean? I don't have to do it all in one day, but I still like my outfit. Right. It's still like pushed myself enough that I feel put together and I feel like it is going to work for the casual venue and I'm going to be comfortable. I didn't want to not show you just because I ended up not following through with any of the specific list items, but I'll come back in a future video and talk about what it was like to actually try to follow through. One last thing though, I'm going to decide what coat I'm wearing and just come back and show you what the entire outfit ended up looking like. Because this is what I expect I'll look like when I'm indoors. I'll probably wear this scarf inside to stay warm and because it's beautiful. But let me go put on a coat and show you what this is going to look like with a coat. Okay, success. Kind of. It's not actually that cold. I just checked outside. I'm not leaving yet for like an hour. If it stays it's cold, but if it stays relatively temperate, I can probably wear this plaid coat, which is like print. Okay, so now, especially with the printed coat and the printed scarf together, I'm succeeding at one of the things I was going to try to do, which is to wear more prints. I think if I need a warmer coat, I'll wear my mohair plaid coat, which will also add some print and texture to the outfit. Yeah, I actually really love it altogether. I'm glad that I'm getting the chance to show you. That's it. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Of course, I want to know in the comments what your personal style challenges are right now. If any of yours overlap with any of mine, let me know. We can discuss it. And I will plan to make some content soon reporting back about this, right? I think it would be really effective to make a video where I'm actually showing outfits that I put together with these principles in mind, outfits that I'm considering wearing or outfits that I actually did wear, and talk through the nitty-gritty of those outfits specifically and how well they did or didn't work for me. So keep an eye out for that. Thanks again. And no matter what you end up doing with your energies this week, don't forget, my friends, to take care of yourself.